She once walked in torn slippers while her cousins wore diamonds. She ate scraps while they ordered room service. They called her nothing, but the girl they threw away would return as everything they feared. In a big African city filled with traffic, tall buildings, and flashing lights, lived a powerful businessman named Mr. David Cole. Everyone knew him. He owned stores, estates, even a hotel. He had money, power, and respect. But above all, he had a daughter, Amara. Amara was his heart. Her mother had died when she was still a baby, so Mr. Cole raised her alone. He gave her everything, the best schools, beautiful clothes, and love that money couldn't buy. But life sometimes is unfair. Mr. Cole became sick, very sick. His skin turned pale, and his voice lost its strength. The doctors couldn't help. The sickness ate him slowly. Before he died, he called his younger brother, Uncle Richard. Lying on his hospital bed, he whispered, "Please take care of my daughter. Protect her like your own. Don't let her suffer." Uncle Richard nodded. "You have my word." But he lied. When Mr. Cole died, his funeral was massive. The city came out to say goodbye to a giant. But the day after the burial, Richard changed. He took over the business, moved into Mr. Cole's mansion, and made Amara sleep in the small servant's room at the back of the house. She had nothing left. No mother, no father, no voice. Richard's daughters, Vanessa, Tanya, and Bella, lived like queens. They drove luxury cars, wore designer shoes, traveled on vacations, and slept in hotels with rich boyfriends. Every weekend was a party. Amara, she walked in the sun, wore old clothes, ate only when someone remembered she hadn't eaten. Her life became a shadow. When suitors came to ask for her hand in marriage, Uncle Richard would laugh. "Her? She's not wife material, but you can choose one of my daughters instead." One by one, they all left, thinking she was trouble. Amara stayed quiet. She prayed. She hoped. Then one day, Richard did something no one saw coming. He called a quiet young man named Michael, a street cleaner who collected trash every morning. He was calm and honest, but people made fun of him. He lived in a small one-room apartment in a poor neighborhood. Richard told him, "Take Amara and marry her. I don't want her in my house anymore." Just like that. No wedding, no celebration. Amara was thrown out like garbage. The city whispered. Her cousins laughed. The princess is now the trash girl. Amara cried the first night. She sat on the floor of Michael's tiny room and wiped her tears with her sleeve. But Michael didn't shout. He didn't mock her. He gave her food, shared his mat, and smiled softly. He treated her like a human being. And slowly, Amara found peace. She started following him to work. She helped him sweep the streets, pick trash, clean gutters. People insulted her. Cars splashed dirty water on her. Still, she smiled. Because for the first time in years, she felt seen. She felt loved. Then one morning, they were gone. Just like that. No goodbyes, no trace. Vanessa, Tanya, and Bella kept living their loud, wild lives until the storm came. One by one, their perfect lives would crumble, and the girl they once called nothing would return. Last we saw Amara, she had been forced to marry a poor trash collector. Her family mocked her. Her cousins lived in luxury, and then she disappeared. Months passed, then a year. No one heard from Amara. Uncle Richard never cared. He told people she had run away in shame. Her cousins, Vanessa, Tonya, and Bella, laughed like always, partied like queens, and updated social media with fake smiles. But trouble was slowly creeping into their perfect lives. First, Richard's business started shaking. A fire broke out in one of his warehouses. Insurance refused to pay because it was poorly secured. Then one of his biggest deals, a hotel project, collapsed. Investors pulled out. Suddenly, money stopped flowing. Debts piled up. The mansion started losing its glow. Bills weren't paid. But that wasn't the worst. Vanessa got pregnant. The father, a club DJ who vanished after the news. Tanya, too, became pregnant. For a married man who denied the child. Bella, same story. A wealthy man used her, then left her with twins and nothing more. 3 daughters, 6 grandchildren. No husbands, no help. Now they couldn't afford hotels. There were no cars left. The designers were sold. No one wanted to marry them. They were hungry. Then came the final blow. Richard fell seriously sick. His body began to swell. He couldn't walk, couldn't eat. His money finished. All went into hospital bills, tests, and failed treatments. The great Richard, once full of pride and power, was now crawling on the floor of a dusty apartment with broken windows and leaking ceilings. No one helped, not even the same people who used to dine at his table. Then one afternoon, a convoy of expensive black cars arrived in front of his old compound. The neighbors gathered. Everyone peeked from their windows. "Who is this?" From the biggest car, a woman stepped out. Her hair was shiny, her skin glowing. Her dress sparkled like morning sun. Behind her, uniformed men and staff carried food, clothes, gifts, and envelopes. It was Amara, the girl they threw away, the one they said had no future. She walked slowly to the gate. The moment Richard saw her, he broke down in tears. His wife screamed. His daughters ran and knelt. "Please forgive us," they begged. But Amara didn't shout. She didn't insult anyone. Her heart was clean. She hugged them. Then she turned to her staff. "Fix this house. Give them food. Send them to the hospital." Richard couldn't believe it. "But how?" he asked. "You were poor." Amara smiled gently. "The man I married, the one you gave me as punishment, was more than a trash collector. He was from a rich family in another country. He left the country to look for a wife who would love him, not his money. When I stayed with him through the hard times, he knew I was real. We traveled. He gave me shares in his company. I became a businesswoman. We built a life together. Now she had become richer than even her late father. But more than money, she had found peace, love, and respect. She didn't forget the pain, but she didn't let it change her heart. As days passed, she gave her cousins jobs. She sent their children to school. She hired nurses for Richard and even flew him abroad for treatment. Slowly, he began to walk again. From shame came blessing. From rejection came restoration. And from the girl they threw away came the woman who saved them all.